And these, none of these vaccines will give you COVID, from my understanding, correct?
That is correct. If I may want to draw a picture showing something here. So, and there's the other concern, widespread misinformation about this somehow affecting our DNA.
Yeah.
So if we have a cell and then a cell nucleus here, and then let's talk about how this enters the body. So we inject the mRNA vaccine, COVID vaccine, into the arm, and the mRNA is covered by a lipid coating to make it more stable in the body.
And lipid is just a fat coating.
Correct. And then what happens is macrophages come along, and let's say this is a cell that's a macrophage, we call it. Macrophages are bigger cells in the body that, I spelled that wrong, macrophage, that they're gobbler cells. So it's going to gobble up this lipid, fat-layered mRNA. Once it gobbles it into the body, then there are parts of the cell called endoplasmic reticulum with ribosomes on them. The cell chews up or digests the lipid layer, and then the mRNA gets attached to the ribosome on the endoplasmic reticulum, and then that mRNA is the code for the spike protein. Have you seen the pictures on your news station of the COVID-19 ball?
Mm-hmm.
They all
looks
have,
really scary.
looks
Yeah.
like a dog's ball with these rubber tentacles sticking out
Yeah.
from it. So it kind of looks like this, and then there's these spikes all over coming out. That's the spike protein. So the mRNA codes for the spike protein, and then these macrophages then start producing the spike protein, which then layers them, and then these macrophages circulate through the body to the areas of the body that are responsible for the immune response, specifically liver, spleen, bone marrow. There, the body has a twofold mechanism to fight the vaccine. The first is the production of B cell antibodies. So we call that a humoral response or antibody response to the vaccine, to produce antibodies against these spike proteins, which are circulating and then can attack the virus if it gets into the body and tries to layer or tries to attach to cells. The antibodies are the first way of our body's defense mechanism. The second way is the helper T cells. The helper T cells help as killer cells, and they also release what's called cytokines, which cause other white cells to come, which now have both recognition and potential to kill or digest the viral spike protein, making it less effective at killing our cells in our body.
So Kevin, I'd like to add, so in answer to your question, Lucas, no, these vaccines cannot give you COVID, because we are not putting a coronavirus, COVID virus into the vaccine that gets injected into the body. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine delivers the spike protein, okay? So then the immune system takes over reacting to that. The mRNA vaccines, which are the Pfizer and Moderna, again, are delivering mRNA, which is the recipe, in simplistic terms, the recipe for the body, our own cells, to naturally do the work and to make the spike protein. Okay. Once that recipe is read, the body doesn't need it anymore. mRNA goes away. It's basically torn up. So with that being said, mRNA does not incorporate into DNA.
It doesn't even.
It does not change our DNA. It's red, the recipe is red, we remember it, and it's torn up. And this folks, is if we can remember that long ago, the younger people probably can. My daughter actually told me about this whole process. I knew it, but this is something that our kids learn in 9th grade biology.
Well, this is really fascinating to me because, I mean, there are a lot of words in there that I would probably never try to say again. But this is like a relatively simple process.
Absolutely, Bill.
It's really not that complicated.
No.
Other than the long words that you were saying, Kevin.
And just the process itself, staying away from the nucleus, is reassuring to me.
Right, right.